right now on News Channel 8 at 8.
We want to get to some breaking news right now in Hillsborough County. A driver lost control and drove off of Interstate 75 at Apollo Beach. That car then fell more than 100 feet down an embankment and right into the woods with 2 people inside.
News Channel 8's Paul Mueller was on that scene even before most of the first responders. Paul joins us now live at 8:30. Paul, what can you tell us? Are they okay?
Jen and Josh, as far as we know right now, they are okay. Conditions right now unknown, though we did see them coming out of the scene alive. I want to just paint the picture for you. 7:30 tonight, these 2 women are driving down 75 South to try and take this exit over here. It's 246 Big Bend Road. But take a look at that embankment that Josh was just talking about. And it's so dark you can't see that there are tire tracks there that go all the way. That's at least a good 75 yards into that hole right there in the woods. And I actually went back there, and the car was about another 2 to 3 feet back in there. Eagle 8 HG high above the scene right now to give us a better look at where we are right now and how many first responders are on scene. Eagle 8 also can show us, you can see that tow truck right there. They've been here for about 20 minutes or so. The goal right now, obviously, you can see the 2 guys going back into the woods right now. That's going to be a tough job for them to get this car out of there. Now, I want to go ahead and show you some video that was taken just about 10 minutes after these women drove off into the woods right there. You can see one of the victims being taken out, and then a short time after that, the second victim, who was actually trapped inside the car for a good 5 to 7 minutes, she was taken out after that. And you have to keep in mind, we were actually here before the ambulance, so we tried to get back there to help as well. But more importantly, there were a lot of people out here who stopped their cars, saw what happened, and told me they had to do the right thing. And many of them ran down into that hole back there. They ran down there to try and save these women's lives. And again, this happening at around 7:30 tonight. And right now, those 2 women were rushed off to area hospitals. Accident reconstruction team is here. What caused this? Well, at the time, Josh and Jen, the roadway, it was wet, and it's at the exact point where that car traveled down the embankment. That is right where you get off for the exit ramp. So a lot of questions remain right now as far as why this happened. But we did talk to a lot of people who stopped their cars and tried to rescue these women. And we'll have much more coming out tonight on News Channel 8 at 11, guys.
Yeah, that's one of the most surprising parts of that, because that's not a place you're going to see a lot of people. And your video showed a lot of people stopping there. So good to see there's a lot of good Samaritans out there willing to help.
All right.
Yeah, and Josh, let me just show you one thing really quick, because this is what is not here right now. Just bear with me for 1 second. And what I want to show you here, if you look there, you can see all of the first responders who were on scene. This was only about 15 minutes ago. So really, this was a real big team effort for not only the first responders, but for all of those people who saw this happen. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
And just stopped to rescue these 2 women.
And good for you guys for stopping and trying to help out as well. We appreciate that.
All right, Paul Mueller live from the scene tonight there at exit 246, where everything seems to be continuing on. None of the road is closed there, but emergency crews are on scene, slowing down the traffic. If you'd like developments on this story and breaking news alerts right to your phone, you can always download the free News Channel 8 app at the App Store.
Now, an 8 on your side investigation.
Contractor in the crosshairs. The Pinellas County building contractor. One customer calls the contractor from hell. Well, he is in trouble once again. We first told you about Rick Metz's pattern of shoddy work and unfinished jobs 6 months ago in an 8 on your side investigation.
And now Metz faces half a dozen more license complaints. And guess what? We just caught his crew working on yet another project without a valid permit. Investigative reporter Mark Douglas shows us what Metz is up to now.
It's no fun under a leaky roof on a rainy day. Just ask tenants in the Copper Mug Plaza. They've battled leaks for months. Back in March, building contractor Rick Metz pulled a city permit to repair this roof and hired Daryl Palmer to do the work.
I don't get paid until the job's done.
That might take a while. Last week, we watched Palmer tackle the job all by himself day after day. He showed up late, left early, and took a lot of smoke breaks in between. If Palmer was looking for help up there, it never came. And from what we saw, he could sure use some. So could his boss, Rick Metz, who bounced the check he wrote to get the roof permit. Because of non-payment, the city of Clearwater issued a stop work order. But that didn't stop Daryl Palmer.
Well, that job is on hold, and nobody's supposed to be working on it because Rick Metz bounced the check for the permit.
I haven't. That's the first I've heard of it. I wasn't aware of it, believe me, not at all.
Last November, we quizzed Metz about his 5-year history of consumer complaints. Back then, Metz insisted he has a stellar reputation.
We do good work. I stand behind my work.
But this time around, we couldn't find Metz standing anywhere. Back at Metz's Clearwater headquarters, one of his tenants, Jasenia Martin, told us her boyfriend worked for Metz until they had a falling out.
He leaves the job site for like months and months and months and drags it on and on and on and on and on.
The Copper Mug roofing job has dragged on for 56 days, and it sure looks like it has a long way to go.
One of his customers called him the contractor from hell.
It is the truth. I cannot lie. I cannot lie about that.
Well, the Bay Area was rocked with heavy weather today, as we've been telling you. High winds and hard rain hit both sides of the bay. News Channel 8's Jeff Patterson shows us some of the impact.
In Apollo Beach this morning, the night sky lit up with bolts of lightning. Many drivers had to face the light show and heavy rain for their commute. For some, the wind and rain became a real problem.
A mess, a lot of water.
Arlene Stevenson woke up to find water pouring into her home.
My neighbor came running over. He said, "Your roof is collapsed." And I kind of looked and he said, "Yeah, your sunroom's down."
Water collapsed her Florida room, but Arlene and her dogs are okay. In Valrico, power lines were knocked down and electricity arced across a front yard. At one point, TECO reported nearly 5,000 customers without power, mostly small outages caused by down lines. In Hillsborough County, on Lithia Pinecrest Road, crews worked to clean up the damage. Fortunately, no one was injured. Jeff Patterson, News Channel 8.
You were just telling us how loud it was?
Yeah, it was so loud this morning. Honestly, some of the loudest thunder I have heard in years.
I think that was the common consensus. We were all woken up, I think, around the same time. Except for maybe Josh. He might have been woken up to the sound of babies a few times.
I'm up all night anyway. It doesn't really matter. It was a nice little light show for the baby. Yeah.
Yes, definitely was this morning. And thankfully now things are wrapping up because we have seen a lot of rain over the past 24 hours. Here's a look at the totals. You can see everyone saw rain today. No one missed out on that. Some places did see more than others, though. So places like Sarasota County, Manatee County hit especially hard. A widespread in this region, 3 to 4 inches of rain. Very impressive. No wonder we are seeing the localized street flooding in those areas. So still take it easy. The places hit hardest may still be dealing with some of that on the roadways. Currently, though, the rain is moving out. Just a little bit of rain left in our inland spots, so southeastern Polk County over towards Wauchula. But as we head to tomorrow, a dry start, a refreshing start to the morning hours. We're beginning the day in the mid-60s. Then as we head into the afternoon, we don't even make it to 80. Pure sunshine through the day, and temperatures will top out at the upper 70s. We'll see a few clouds, but no rain around. And notice that nice dry stretch is expected to continue through the end of this week, into this weekend. What a treat we have as we head into Mother's Day weekend. So we'll have the full details on that forecast coming up in a few minutes.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you much.
Coming up next on News Channel 8 at 8 on Great 38.
There are people that wonder, what am I here for? Foster parents don't wonder about that. They know why they're here. They're here because the child needs them.
2 foster parents are being recognized for the tremendous impact they've had on their community. How many hundreds of children they've helped take care of.
This is News Channel 8 at 8 on Great 38. Tampa Bay's most convenient primetime newscast.